It was literally like 2 seconds.
I know.
Also, Anna, I just saw what you changed your reactive to.
Yeah. You might
Why
need to
is
put
she
me in
so
a different
far in front of
spot.
me?
Yeah, it's because I was normal until I started
people-
Wait,
fighting
can
with
I be
Nightbot.
standing on top of Anna?
Hang on, I got 2 square people to like shuffle around here. Hang on.
Well, you know,
Put
if
them next
someone
to each
would have
other,
made
then put me
me...
on top of them. We'll be in a weird pile.
Yeah, this is like a weird pile, but it works.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I'm
Look at
happy
that.
with this.
Look at that. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine.
Perfect.
No, I'm ready. I'm here to fuck it all up. There we go.
Yee. Welcome in everybody. What are we doing? So I see we have a new person. I don't know how to say that.
Holly. Holly.
Halipa. Or just Holly, I don't know.
Or is it like coil? Like Hoyle?
What?
I don't know. How do you pronounce your name?
I'm already being called out. Like I
Already,
can't mask
like,
being normal that
initially-
long.
Just barely got in here and being called out, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, welcome in everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday. I am Boldmordred. I do all sorts of variety gaming, D&D stuff. I also do DMing for professional campaigns, as well as map building for, well, any TTRPG. And these are my random friends that are hanging out with me during this world building.
Really
And
random?
we got the little head banging Sir Burton, the very blue Evrior, and then the banana fighting a mod. Banana.
Yeah.
Literally named just banana.
Yeah.
And Hoy. Hoylipa. It's a trap for stream.
That's fair.
Lol. Hoy then. Well, welcome in, Hoy. Hi, Snack. If you use a dice roll for your friends, like to pick them?
Because you said
Yeah.
random friends.
Oh, that's fair.
That's actually how I got
That
here.
tracks.
Right.
That's smart. That's much
Come on,
smarter than my brain.
Brain
Those
power.
are
Where's
usually
that?
Oh,
the
it's
people that have to clear out
non-existent.
their
What do you
schedule.
mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I was just trying to take a shower and I got yeeted onto my computer and I was like, oh shit.
Did you get the shower?
I guess we're here now. Yes, I got the shower.
I don't know.
My shower stats remained. It's fine. Dude, my username's actually also a trap for streamers because some people have a hard time that there's a Z in it, so they can't read it as banana because of like the alternate capitalization thing. And also it's misspelled, but the Z makes people say bonanza all the time.
Bonanza.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. It's whatever.
Close
I
enough.
respond to anything and it's fine.
Lol.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna start ground up here. Cause I have no anything prepped for this. I've kind of given it a little bit of thought, but like not outside of. I just want a lot of places and whatnot because I want it to be. I guess
Have you
I should,
decided
like,
between like what TTRPG you're going with? Like, are we suddenly gonna switch it up and do Pathfinder or like
lol. I should
like totally just flip the script on
I
it?
would be interested in doing a Pathfinder, but I need to learn how Pathfinder functionally works before. Because
That's
it
fair.
seems
It's fun.
similar to 3.5 as far as my understanding goes. Which is what I started with. But I gotta come up with a name so I can make my notes file for this. And I had one, I gotta find it. I had a couple of options that I thought were not terrible. I had two, but I'm open to other names. I came up with Faegrimm or Kyvoria.
Faegrimm is taken.
Is it?
Faegrimm is very taken.
I didn't know that.
That's D&D.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh. I was just
Hey,
coming up
nerd,
with a
turn-
name with Fae. No shit, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. That's funny
Faegrimm
as
is-
fuck.
The name of the D&D world, I think.
Mordred, you need to turn up your volume.
My personal volume.
Or yes, or turn us down.
Man, it always like
Suggested at least. I'm not saying you have to.
Okay, well you
No, you
guys
have
are
to.
way you guys are much quieter now. You are 4 decibels less than you were.
What? Hold
I feel like that's safe with me, not gonna lie. That's a safe bet.
Amazing. What do you
We're
think,
all planning
guys?
to randomly scream at some point.
I do.
Is
It's
that
not a
not-
plan, I just
Are
do.
you not doing that now?
I don't feel like I'm screaming yet.
Fee. I should name the world like Fee Fi Fo Fum or some shit.
Yeah, it's so true.
Fluffy.
Okay,
And then just
well-
have a bunch of like fable lore mixed in,
Oh, I'm already
like
planning
subtle
on that.
references.
Yeah, I want like Grimm's fairy tale references all over the place because
Yeah,
that
that's
shit's so
cool.
great. But like legitimate Grimm's fairy tales, not.
You could
Disney.
try and work in the word grim then, because I feel like that would make for a cool name.
Then Ryan will copyright me.
Well, that's why you have to add things around it.
Fee Fire. You know, I'm not
You're the
against
name.
Grimm actually. The only other one I had was Kyvoria because I thought that was neat because I had a
Like
K.
Faegrimm is cool.
Faegrimm.
Well, you said you wanted Fae.
Faegrimm. How does that look? Faegrim. It would look like that.
That's pretty clean.
That's cool
Hmm.
looking. But like, for a world name, it would be like, "Welcome to the world of Faegrimm." I don't know.
I think
Sounds like
Faegrimm
we're
sounds
gonna die.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, I'm expecting some
Natsu.
whimsical nonsense that's gonna kill me.
That's fair. That's fair.
It sounds very Lovecraftian.
Lovecraftian solid salamander tales. Lol. Faegrimm, Faygates. I kind of, I am actually kind of partial to Faegrimm. I'm gonna go with Faegrimm and we'll see how that goes as we get further in. I like that.
See, chat, peer pressure works. PSA, don't do that.
You say don't peer pressure your friends. Or do.
Yeah, but also
I
it
can tell you what
works.
to do.
just like murder. It works, but don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yep. So that's a thing that was talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Folder
yeah.
Faegrimm. Create notes. Then I gotta add the window. Window capture. Faegrimm notes. Wow, it even picked the right thing right off the bat. Good shit.
Oh, what is this fancy little note app you're using?
I know, it's crazy. Fairy tales wants to kill you. Fae grudge. Lol.
Guy, that was an actual question. You should talk about it.
Yeah, so I am using a wonderful notes program called Obsidian. My understanding is it's used for writing like books and whatnot because you can connect everything Like if I had a name, I don't know, we could use Faegrimm here as an example, and I wanted to make a specific note. I just put a couple brackets around it, and now I have a specific note for it, and I can just click on this anytime in any other page, and it'll take me straight to that note page, which is incredibly helpful. Plus, I get this really great little graph view with the dots.
Yeah.
I have
Speed
some other
hyperlinking.
Yeah, I could show off a different one.
It is pretty clean.
So this is an alternate campaign I'm running, and you can see the amount of notes. No, you can't because it's showing the other one. Hang on.
Simply no, you can't.
So you can see all the amount of notes, and you can see how much text is built in on each of these little guys with images and
Last summer we
everything.
don't exist.
And there's so much stuff in here.
We're in the walls.
In the wall. Yeah, and then I got this
We're
cool
only
little
seeing-
graph view, which shows me all the connection points of any particular thing. So, like, Jacques is a character in my other campaign. Are we supposed
That's
to
really
not
cool.
see-
That reminds me of
No.
like social media web. You know how they have
Yeah,
that thing where
yeah,
you
yeah.
can see how far your reach goes or whatever based
Yeah.
off of who you interact with. That's what it reminds me of.
That's exactly the vibe. Like, you can kind of see what connects to everything. So, like, what's the most connected thing here? Right now, I think maybe the Marshall Dominion, which is a country in that one. So anyway, yeah, I love this. This is so cool. This is one of my favorite things. And it's just crazy how much stuff connects. Anyway, so that's what we're looking for here. Bap. Go back to the other one. Welcome in, Six. How's it going? And yeah, Obsidian is the name of the note-taking program. In case you were interested in using it. It's super helpful. Thank you to my wonderful friend, Mr. Sir Burton, for allowing me to use his note-taking program at my
To be
leisure.
fair,
It's so helpful, and I appreciate it so very much.
the program itself is pretty straightforward to use. The only payment you have to really do is to be able to sync it across multiple devices and to have multiple archives.
Which, fun fact, actually, I have discovered you don't have to do the sync. Just recently I've discovered this. If you have, like, a cloud service anyway, because I shove it up in Google. And
exactly.
it's the same thing. So I'm syncing without syncing.
Yes.
It's great.
If you wanted to sync the separate files.
Yes.
But if you have just the one Obsidian file in a cloud server anyways, then yes, it's already syncing across that cloud file.
Those things. So yeah. So we got the world name. We're doing great, guys. I also realized I didn't actually post in my Discord, so I'm gonna do that.
Imagine telling people you're live. That's
Imagine.
crazy.
I did it on Twitter. I did not do it on.
What's a Twitter?
I'm not calling it the other
Wow.
thing.
Wow, it doesn't fit your lifestyle to.
Look, I was having this discussion with my wife the other day. It was like, look, if they had made an entirely new social media called X, that'd be pretty cool. Like, I'd be fine with that. But you
What
took
is-
one that
About
was
this with us the other day as
already
well.
made. Was it you guys? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, now I've had this conversation twice with you and none with my wife. So there we go. We're doing great.
Damn, you're married
Alright.
to your friends now.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah,
just
I hang
gotta
out with
paint
them
on
quite a bit.
Discord.
It tracks. It tracks.
Bonk not bonking.
Bonk, not bonking. Of course. Why are you not bonking today, thing?
The bonk never really bonks.
No, it's supposed to.
Do you have your
bonk.
alerts in
It's
this scene?
bonking. It should be bonking. Why isn't it bonking? I'm refreshing.
What do you mean, speaking of eggs? Is that the meal that you made for yourself, Summer, is eggs?
Speaking of eggs,
Or am I an egg? Are you calling me an egg? Tell me right now.
Yo, I did fix the daily beacon though, so like, you know.
Oh yeah,
Aw.
everyone redeem your daily beacons.
Did y'all hear the bonk that time? Because I heard it that time.
A
Hey,
new
yo.
hand
One time.
touches the beacon.
I know, I need to add that in as a sound clip. I'm gonna hate myself, but like it's fine. I was making sure it functionally worked was all, so I can add that in later.
That's all
The
I thought
weed. Wait,
Oh hey, look, it's Oni.
it is. We got a whole bunch of people in here. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day. Oni, you just missed all the source notes on your campaign.
I thought that. I was like,
I mean, it'll be in the VOD, but it's
Unless
nothing.
they were lurking.
No, there's nothing in there. I wouldn't have shown that. I did. Let's see here. So, we got Faegrimm. So what do we need? What do we need for this? We need political structure.
you need to just like come up with a bunch of towns names, really.
You just come up with really chaotic, funny ideas and figure out how they work later.
Okay, throw
Yeah,
some
like-
ideas out. What do we got?
I
Do you
really
want
want
a
this flying
capital
unicorn.
town?
Okay. We're going to start with the flying unicorn travel system.
Oh shit.
Kind of like giant turtles, but unicorns.
What now? What's the giant turtle system?
Yeah, I don't know where the giant turtles are coming from.
Okay,
You
because
never heard of floating city turtle things?
yeah, it's big
Yeah,
city on the
but
back of a
that's not
turtle.
transport.
Okay. Would you like to take that burden, or you?
No, you got it.
Like
Oh, boy.
Avatar, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Avatar, because Avatar takes on a lot of mythology as well.
Yeah, the lion turtles.
But, yeah. So
Not yet.
kind of, yeah. Okay, so couple of things being meshed here. Firstly, let's start with the travel system. If you need to drink a potion of virginity.
Does that turn you back into a virgin, or
No,
Does it-
unicorns only like virgins or pure people.
If you're
That could
born
track,
again
actually.
virgin, where does soaking lie on the scale of like getting away with it?
No, what did you just get the blender?
Get the blend. Okay. So, fucking.
Why am I being? Why
Oh,
summer?
guys, I can't. This is great. Okay. Where are we at? Can I put a GIF in here? Does it
I think
allow
we're
that?
really
Hang on.
focused.
Hang on.
In Obsidian, yes.
Oh
maybe.
God, no! It's too.
It's pretty
It's,
big.
You can
Ah!
also put it on
Oh,
the
no,
stream.
it's
Oh, it's
making it
massive.
really
Oh,
large.
it's gonna chunk
Yeah,
everything.
that's a massive banana on the stream. Hang on.
Ayo.
Is it the one that you made
I made a
specifically
thing.
too?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they need to see the one you made.
Okay, yeah, this is the one I made right here. I made this specifically.
I think you
because
should leave that in the corner.
just constantly playing over
Yeah.
here. That is so distracting.
Like
Please
lower
do it.
left. Like lower left.
No, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
top
yeah.
right.
What?
All right.
Actually, no,
Pick
there's
a
nothing in the
side.
bottom left. You're right.
Nope.
Put it on Ford's head.
There's a reason Anna is my wife.
Do it. Just keep stacking.
Keep stacking.
Keep snacking.
Oh, keep stacking. I thought
No.
it was stacking.
Okay,
I was
wait.
like,
I did say stacking.
So anyway, flying
started
unicorn
last.
travel. Got it. So like,
Well, do you want it to be like a tyrant in the world somewhere? Is everywhere pretty equal?
that's a good point. Okay. So maybe
Power
we
struggle.
hang on.
Do
Political
you want
structure
two
comes
tyrants
later.
fighting against each other?
No, I guess
Or
that's technically
one
political
good-
structure.
King thing? Why
Okay,
don't they
so
have
we
a
got
name?
Tyrant. World details. I don't know what to put under here. So for sure, there's gonna be like a Victorian-esque city, and I'm
Like?
talking like Treasure Planet without the futuristics, like Yield England kind of vibiness.
Sure.
Yeah, but I also want much more fantasy-esque things. Like I want the full spectrum.
Yeah,
So-
you're
Yeah,
on the
like
full
in
spectrum.
mine, I had some that were really poor and had nothing, and then one had. Did you say you're on the spectrum?
What? No.
No, I thought that was what Andy said.
Yeah,
You're killing me.
Oh.
You're fucking killing me.
Oh my god. Welcome
and
in,
then I had
Silver.
one that was like all artificers, because artificers are all fancy and cyberpunk, steampunk.
Yeah, steampunk. Like steampunk-esque. Silver, don't forget to do the daily check-in. It's got a counter now, and I want to make sure it works, and you know, that's cool. Rulers change with the time of the year. That could be a neat idea.
That could be cool if you include it with like a larger ends, because you know they changed.
I was actually
Like
just
each season.
thinking that. The Ladrin. I don't know. Confederacy.
Confederacy. Yeah.
Sure. I can't spell. Ederacy. I don't know. That's not how you spell Confederacy, is it? No. Oh my god, it is how you spell Confederacy. Okay, that's fine. A Ladrin
you nailed it.
Confederacy where each season is governed by a different season person. I know.
Season person.
I know what I'm talking about.
Is this agreed upon? Are these gonna be like separate clans who just put on the funny crown and thing, or is this gonna be like a? Is it like a regional thing? Is it like a? There are 4 sons and they couldn't decide which one was the true ruler, so they just took turns.
These are great questions.
I'm just
I like
I'm
it.
full of
I like
questions.
it. No, these.
I'll make you question everything.
This is the entire point. We're just getting like the bare bones down here. So like, in the Ladrin Confederacy, where each season is governed by a different person related to season.
Related to season. Actually, that is kind of reminding me there's an anime coming out, seasonal anime. It's like bird people. It's Yadakarasu, the raven does not choose its master or something like that. I'm not remembering it correctly, but essentially the prince does have to choose a princess from the 4 different seasons, and the seasons are assigned like cardinally as well. So it's like north, south, east, west. I don't know.
I think that's cool as well. Like when you do different tribes who have like different specialties. Like Avatar has the water tribe, the fire tribe. Or I
Mhm.
can't speak that much for Avatar because I don't know. But
You need to watch out.
Yeah, no, it is kind of like that in the sense that some are like one of the regions is agriculture focused because of the land they have. Another one is like textiles. Another one is, and then whichever princess is chosen kind of determines which region will prosper during that reign, basically, because they'll get first dibs on all resources. So it becomes a political thing. It's interesting so far. Recommend.
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 I literally think I said welcome in Lilith, but I don't remember if I did. So welcome in Lilith.
What again?
Okay, so that sounds interesting, actually.
Let me find that actual name so I can write it down.
Yo.
Not that you have to use it. I'm just saying I was talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
an
yeah,
anime,
yeah.
so I may as well actually provide some receipts.
So pretty cliche, but always great. Barbaric tribe, strongest tribe runs it. Lots of
it
infighting.
doesn't have to be barbaric.
No, I said
Technically.
barbaric, not necessarily barbarian. Barbaric.
I just think like the different regions maybe is a way to say it is cool.
What do you mean?
Like
Oh, these are different. This is not the Eladrin Confederacy. This is entirely
no,
separate.
I was thinking of like just general area. Like
Houses.
Avatar, no, other Avatar does it. The blue people Avatar does it. With like the water avatars and the other Avatar.
Yeah, the plains. Yeah. The islanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The forest people.
we're talking about the
The forest-
Eladrin Confederacy
No, I'm
The-
talking about tribes with themes.
tribes. Okay.
Tribes with themes. So true.
So elemental
It
plain
doesn't
tribes.
have to be elemental. Like if you can think of something else, it's just like Elementals, the
Constellations.
often done one. Like constellations would also be cool.
Ooh, actually,
Like
I
they
like
all
that.
pray to a different god. Could be a thing.
Constellation tribes. Stronger tribe runs it in fighting. They all pray to different constellations and disagree on who the best god is. I don't know.
Why can we never create a world or a universe where there's true peace?
Then there wouldn't be a story.
You know what?
But
Maybe
you
we
could
have a
make
one
a
shot for
story.
that.
Why does the world need to be in turmoil?
Because the world is never at peace. Let's move on. It'll be at peace once the party's
It's
done
my
there.
fantasy world. Why can't I build it so that people are actually happy?
Anna wants to
I'm
build
kidding.
Anna wants to do a one shot where she runs it and we're all just like
Everyone's happy. Go to the festival and it'll be normal.
Yeah.
they're
It's
normal
totally
games,
normal.
guys.
I'm such a sucker for dystopian, actually, like unironically, where someone genuinely tried to build the ideal, but it kind of just ended up sucking for everyone equally.
So Stardew. Yeah. Well, Joja Cola. They're the tyrannical people.
Dinosaur people?
When
Huh?
did you add the cookie mafia, and how did I miss that? Eat my cookies or eat my head?
Lead.
Just a bunch of grandmas with guns?
Here, do I need to make this a little bigger?
Oh yeah.
No, it's fine. I just have it small on my screen.
Oh. Capitalism is true enemy. Da. Yeah, Cookie Mafia just sounds entertaining, because I feel like that could be an actual thing. And I was like, maybe White Lotus-esque, which is an Avatar reference. But
Yeah, White Lotus.
it's just a bunch of grandmas who love cooking, and they cook for people. Maybe it's like a collection of innkeepers, but like specific inns. They all have like a symbol, very Thieves Guildy, but for cookies.
And then can you have it be centered around like a like an innocuous activity or a game again, like how the White Lotus was Pai Show and they talk through Pai Show.
Oh yeah,
Like, but
yeah.
it's grannies, so they could be talking through like knitting or some shit.
They talk
Like
through
competitive
tabletop
quilting.
while
Competitive quilting's a
Done.
thing.
Competitive quilting it is.
Yeah.
I love this.
And you can hide so much in the patterns and the stitching. I think I'm actually cooking right now. I think I've been activated.
Hey, remember that thing where I was all like, hey, you just gotta get creative and make stories, and you're like, no, I don't do that very often, and like, it's rare if I do.
Like,
What?
I'm
When I was-
it's a great time.
You're a DM, that's what
What
you
are
do.
you talking?
No, I was talking to Anna.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you
I-
know the Muffin Man?
Oh my god.
These are great. Like, I would not have
Please,
come
but
up
do you
with
know
the
the
Cookie
Muffin Man?
Mafia with competitive quilting. Like, this, I would not have come up with this, but I'm so happy it's in here. Like,
Yeah.
that's so
just,
great.
just ideas.
Oh,
Might not make it into the final product, but they're
I
ideas.
feel like that was the plot of Hoodwinked. Was it really? I haven't seen Hoodwinked
Oh,
in
shit. I
used to love
ever. Hang
Hoodwinked.
on. What was the plot of
I haven't
Hoodwinked?
seen Hoodwinked in 10,000 years, actually.
The wolf was trying to steal the cookies, I think. And then
Yeah.
the grandma did end up being like part of some kind of. I don't know, I think she might have just come out the wardrobe with a shotgun or something. I don't know. There was something up with the grandma.
Yeah. I think there was almost like a secret society thing in Hoodwinked, because I think
Yeah,
it was
'cause
all the old
rabbit
people
was part of the secret
were like
society
trying to
too.
come together to. It's been so long, but I feel like it's tickling the memory.
There's like
Wait,
baking
was it even the wolf or
organizations.
was it just the rabbit? No.
I don't know.
I think it was just the rabbit was trying to get the grandma's recipe.
Alright, we're gonna go look.
It was about corporations and stealing recipes and whatnot, taking other businesses out of taking small businesses out of business and taking the recipes.
Oh, like a Walmart bakery.
So it's like a
Yeah, I remember the schnitzel guy.
The schnitzel guy.
oh god, I forgot about the schnitzel guy.
We need to rewatch this
Look,
movie.
bro, this is-
Community movie night
Have it on
when
in
actually
the corner. We just
This-
need to talk over it so he doesn't get DMC hate.
Maybe this will
like
be the
like
first
today
movie
after
night.
stream angle or what?
Definitely. All I remember is the fucking goat and just saw Jack
That's-
Curse sing everything.
I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking bet. Okay, so I'm just gonna put hoodwinked in here, and we'll come back to this.
Revisit.
Next up, Balloonville. A bunch of bird fae created in this village made of hot air balloons,
How involved do you want your gods to be?
anchored over the trees with wood.
Forward back on her
connected to the
religious kick.
string.
I like making gods because it's just a bunch of really powerful people who look cool.
You don't say the person
could
who
be a
made
mafia.
their,
Okay, wait, I
their
wanna come back to
VTuber
that.
OC a god
We'll come
likes
back to
gods.
Yeah.
That's that's crazy, bro.
My
Gods.
favorite things to create in my world was
should
like creating a bunch of
exist.
gods, and I was like, wait, I can't make too many.
But like not necessarily be, and like there could be as many as you want, right? But like, I don't know that they'll be directly involved. Maybe demigods or like smaller gods that are itching to be bigger. But like the biggest of gods would just be gods. They would not necessarily do anything, but they would have large followings like Silver
The
Flame
interns.
or, you know.
Now, hear me out. There's this really funny story that I was reading where all the gods are just called constellations and they're watching everybody as if they're watching different streams. It's been real popular right now in media.
Oh god, it's too meta.
It's very meta.
That's
But then you can have as many as strong gods as you want and they can't intervene without facing consequences, but they can like give little gifts and sprinkles and be like, you're really funny to watch, so let me give you some bits.
I kind of want to do some. I don't know if it wouldn't be a watching thing, obviously, but like, I like the idea.
But yeah, no, like you can have gods and they don't really intervene, but they can have people that are entertaining and they're like, I like what you're doing and you're partying really heavy. Dionysus sends you a gift. Like,
There's so many different schools of thought that you can run with gods where they're more like a entity of a belief system that you never really see or hear proof of. You just believe that they're there and attribute unexplainable things to them. Or on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, they could literally be walking around like everyday people.
Yeah, you could do like Genshin style gods.
And they just, yeah, sure, yeah. And they just,
mean,
they
they're
can
just
grant like
around.
minor miracles or like, you know, have the use of magic, but they pretty much are otherwise just pretty normal unless they have like personality issues and anger issues and stuff. And then you're like, stay away from that one. That one's like,
Wait, are we talking like they're just walking around like normal people versus
Yeah, so-
being non
right. That would be the opposite end of the
Yeah,
spectrum
yeah.
of no proof they exist to like, they're just everywhere, bro. Like, I don't know.
Maybe not everywhere, but they're like the leaders of their places.
Can you attain
Yeah,
godhood is a good question.
That's what I was gonna ask you whenever the conversation died again, is how does someone become a god?
It's
well, I
like
was thinking as far as walking around, it reminds me of Don Manchi, or is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? That's their whole thing, is the gods descended from heaven, left their powers in heaven, and then started their familias on earth.
So then you can have it almost be like a separate race. Like it's not anything. It's
cool.
like you don't earn it. It's not a title. It's just like an elf or like a dwarf or whatever, or you're just a god. Smiles. And whatever that comes with.
Explain, can I be a god?
Maybe. Oh, here's what we do. I take all the characters from all the other campaigns, and they are all gods.
You have
So we
to
got
kill
Ned
them.
That would make a great god. You know,
God of smoothies.
Fred
What on
being
earth?
incredibly entertaining god.
Just taking strays out here.
Like, I think this could be fun. Maybe they'd be like some like lesser known gods. I might do that. That sounds really entertaining.
Lesser gods are always more interesting than the bigger ones, in my opinion, because you can
Yes.
do so much more with them.
because they're not so defined. inherently.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know that I want them walking around in the world. So I think I'm gonna go with the spectrum of non-intrusive for the most part. Non-intrusive main
Non-intrusive, but do they
gods.
have tangible proof of existence?
What would be a tangible proof of existence exactly?
Like if there were a ritual thing that you could perform to actually either contact them to hear them verbally or ask them for some sort of favor that they would then grant you in a timely manner that you would be like, yeah, there's no way that would have happened organically. That's for sure a god physically did that.
In my world, I had like yearly ceremonies that would go on for each god, and they would like either come down and visit their people, or like they would put on a show or something.
Put on the show. Love that.
It's kind of like a
jig.
fireworks show, but like a god did
jig.
something cool.
We yeah, 5-year-old children gods would be great. If
No.
Vegeta,
That's so cursed in so many ways because think of a god needing nap time because otherwise they're gonna destroy the entire universe for fun because they're tired.
No, that's 100%
Or like they
Prince
need a
Naga.
snack.
that tracks for a
That
lot of
weird
gods.
dragon
What?
anime.
What's
Okay, yeah, god tantrum,
happening?
sure. I just think about like do what you want. I'm just like in my mind I'm like a 5-year-old god. I'm like that sounds not
I literally
great.
watched an animation thing on YouTube that someone made, and it was literally a biblically accurate angel came down and pretended to be a baby to test the human race.
Oh god. See, again, it's like cool ideas, and then I shudder for humanity because there's no way they make it out, you know? Like, I think it's funny from the god perspective. I think it's really bad for the world inhabitants. They're struggling.
Which Edward are we going with?
Edward
I'm
Twilight.
Sparkly
Edward?
vampire?
It's like Fishman. God, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but I will totally make Edward a god. That'll be great.
Just like the god of the sea is actually a giant fish.
The
love that.
archfish.
And they don't actually talk. They just, like, blub blub at you because it's a fish.
They just Magikarp.
Oh god, a Magikarp god? Yeah?
That
God.
might be where it goes.
I think so. But then what if it evolves?
How do you spell that image? Wow. That's how you spell Magikarp, right? M-A-G-I?
That's like
No, wait, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that looks
I'm
right.
having a moment here. Yeah, that looks... it's fine.
It's just not gonna come up in the dictionary.
No, it's not. 'Cause
Yeah.
I get that, but like...
not a real word, I'm sorry. I also call them magic craps.
First goal in every game is to get a Magikarp. Well, first goal is to get either a Gengar or a Bulbasaur, but yeah.
The good thing to think about as well is how are your party members gonna be significant? Maybe not at this point, but
Yeah.
because like they need to be different in some way. Like in mine, I made the new world and the old world of magic for it.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I think their significance will probably come from
Depends on
their
what scale
backstory,
you want to do
right?
things.
It's not gonna be. I've definitely learned my lesson and how deep I need to delve in. Like, I want them to be a part of the world, but I also don't want them to be the entire point of the world. Like, the world should go on without them. But like, I was reading the chat and I was distracted very heavily.
Oh, a cum god. So true.
Taco Bell?
Yeah. It's amazing how that's not even the first time we've said cum today, actually.
Yeah, it's actually kind of wild.
Good day, I
The whole
think.
conversation about it earlier.
We got
Solid
30
day, I think.
Got 30 seconds. We're gonna hit an ad break, so be aware of that. Actually, gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go now. We're going to an ad because it's gonna go anyway. So yee.
Dude, any kind of student is a cum god. What the fuck?
What?
How am I supposed to parse that? Amazing.
Lol. So, non-intrusive main gods, but very intrusive demigods.
Sure.
Well, do you want there to be just like a certain point when they intervene? Like, if someone wants to completely drain the ocean, will the sea god get pissed?
Well, I mean, like, how are you draining a whole...
That was not a thought through example, obviously.
We're gonna blow up the ocean for reasons.
For a reason.
I can kind of see what you're saying though, is like in the non-intrusive god's personalities, is there a point that would make them actually look, or are they just so we created this and now we're hands off, it does what it does?
Probably that.
That's another point, is were they there since the beginning of time? Did they make the sea and everything, or?
Did anybody here play Divinity 2?
No.
All the way through. Okay.
I mean, not all the way through, but yes.
Okay.
Not
Like, I
all the
think
way through, and
attaining
not that I
godhood
can
is a good
remember
thing.
any.
So if anybody, I don't want to spoil it because it's a great story, but you know, y'all ain't gonna play it, so fuck it.
You already have for me, so.
I have.
Yeah, you've
To be
spoiled it
fair,
for
I
me as
tried
well.
to play it, but the same thing happened with D&D, where we got like
Yeah,
a group
same.
of people to play it together, and they fucking like fell
Oh,
off the
Philly
face of the
boys.
planet,
It's
and I was like,
hard.
"This is why I'm gonna play by myself." I swear.
It's hard to
Man, I
play a
hate
game
people.
like that with a group, cause yeah,
Yeah, like even we tried to do it and it just didn't work out.
like yeah. Anyway, so the gods were there during creation, if you will, but they devour the power. Like the people are just pieces of food, essentially. They just eat them. I had a point here and I forgot where I was going. But anyway.
Is it like human sacrifices, or do they just pick, I don't like you, die?
The cycle of life and death, it
Oh, okay.
sustains them. Who's the person on the bottom left? Bottom left is a banana.
What have I done?
You have become a banana. I don't know. You're doing great. I was identifying who you are.
You're being
The
perceived.
main thing with the non-intrusive gods is like, do you want them to, like, do they just not have morals that they'll try and enforce on people? Do they just like think, I'm a god now, I don't care?
Will not intervene outside of world death, I would say.
World death.
Like, it
So
would
they
have to
just-
be cataclysmic, and even then, it's a maybe.
Would they just hit the reset button? Would they be like, well, this one, restart? You know?
Yeah, probably. Wow, I spelled cataclysmic correctly? Damn.
Little and big at the same time. That's a skill.
Play Donkey Kong. Actually, I would totally play that on stream. I love that game. CODs are busy. They have other things to worry about.
Well, clearly they don't worry about anything. They're just like, the world's not dying, it's fine.
Welcome in, Meatball.
Barely a meatball.
Okay. So, I'm going to go with, just to move us along here, they're not going to intervene outside of cataclysmic events, which they'd probably just hit the reset button anyway and just say, fuck it, we'll start over. I don't know that you could
What if the party
attain-
causes a cataclysmic event then? Are you just going to be like, oh, too bad the gods reset you?
I don't know if they cause a
Yeah, that would
close-
be funny.
Oh my god.
Etch a sketch.
Because I always
Yeah.
think it's fun to make, like,
shaky.
if the party does something that big, a god will, like, call them into a conference or will try and interact with them, and then they have to deal with a pissed off god. Because that's hilarious.
Well, there's a lot going
In
I
on.
the
think
middle of-
since the idea is that the demigods are probably going to be interacted with more, maybe we can like start thinking about some idea. What is your idea behind that? What did you want them to do, the demigods?
I guess if we're going into perspective here, I do like silvers. I'm going to come back to that. But as far as demigods go, it would just be like lesser gods. Maybe demi is the wrong. We're going to go with lesser because that would be more tactful. Like they're technically gods. I don't think you should be able to inherently attain godhood.
So not the interns, but like the part-timers.
Yeah. They're there, but they don't necessarily get to make the big decisions. And if they do make a big decision, they get in trouble. All right, later, Six. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you when you come back.
Something you should think about as well is clerics and paladins. Like if they worship a bigger god, do they care about them? Do they know they're there?
Well, I guess that's well. I'm gonna bring us back around here to Silver's comment because I actually thought this was not a terrible idea.
Lovely, very
Not a
kind of you.
I didn't mean it like what I mean.
Wow.
We're talking
From
about
him,
big
it's
ideas
not
here.
Terrible.
So Silver suggested if a barrier of some kind was created that stops the gods from directly intervening, even if they want to. So it takes a lot of willpower and energy to do so. So they kind of save that for the world-ending stuff, which I guess would make it so that they aren't hitting a reset button; they're preventing the hit of the reset button. Which I kind of like more, because that means you could still interact as a cleric or a paladin. Not awful. I'm sorry, Silver. You can still interact as a cleric or a paladin. And maybe you could get very small glimmers of interaction that wouldn't be direct words or visions or anything like that. But they'd still have the power, like the god is allowing them a small portion of their power, right? I don't know.
I just think with clerics or paladins, it's like this not as interactive as a patron, obviously, but it should be something like that, so that they can at least have that person that they're drawing power from. Because like the deity has chosen to give them that power.
What if what if players don't necessarily... Okay, I need to preface this. Main gods. Main gods are unattainable for clerics or paladins because there's so many groups of them. Like, it's already maybe stretching them thin and like there can only be a certain number. I don't know. Maybe they choose from lesser gods and they have more interaction from the lesser gods. Or does that even matter? I don't know if that really matters.
Well, how specific are your lesser gods going to be? Because so far you have the smoothies, and I doubt there'll be many paladins of smoothies.
Looks directly
What do you mean?
at Burton.
Paladin smoothie.
Just make your character a paladin of smoothies, and then there's one right there.
There you go.
And so the
We follow
scriptures
the oath
say,
of big booty bitches.
thou must
Just have
consume...
it be a campaign requirement that at least one of the players has to be a paladin of smoothies.
Who wants to take the bullet, guys?
Yeah, who wants the special character?
Well,
Would
like
be.
these are just the idea gods. They'll be integrated somehow, I kind of think, but we'll get there. That's not a right now issue.
Okay. So what's next?
I don't know. All gods are a thing. Very semi-intrusive lesser gods. Sure, we'll go with that. I don't know. We'll come back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, the answer might come to you as more things like fill out, and then you'll be like, I think to make this happen, this makes more sense for the world to be like this.
It could be that you have something above the gods who like dictates who goes in and out of the veil.
Oh.
Like the sort of all-powerful creator, or like just something above the gods. Like I had
The god of the
they were
universe.
called birds things above my gods, because then they're like managing those.
Oop.
It's usually like a balance thing that goes above gods, I think.
So then we're gonna use the Holy Trinity. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we got a whole bunch of chat to like do. So they give little boons to mortals because it's all they can muster, and gives the players purpose and importance, which I agree with. Hoy says God cannot really enter the world Yeah, they gotta fill out a lot of paperwork to come down for a minute.
That could be cool, is if you had like one god who was like scared of being overthrown, and then they put the veil in place, and now they're like basically the head god because they dictate who's in and out of the veil.
Also, like, god drama.
Yeah, god drama's always fun. I'm annoyed that I don't have that
The
much
best
god
drama.
drama. I keep going to say trauma.
More
So,
trauma.
Cause like my gods are like some of them don't like each other, but there's no like would kill them on sight. And that
trauma
upsets
drama
me.
god.
Oh, I know how to make a world traumatic. Upon a child's birth, one of your parents has to die.
Whoa, yes.
The rogues, they'd be everywhere.
I'm gonna just call it trauma god for now.
Oh god.
Upon what, birth
like
or
a god of-
acceptance?
Protection or something.
What do you mean
then it makes sense
acceptance?
that they'd have a
Upon
veil.
birth, because imagine if the baby's like conceived and then the person carrying
Oh
the
my
baby
God.
dies, then the baby doesn't it has to be,
Like
you know.
they have to sacrifice their life force to be able to give it to their child.
Ooh.
Don't
What
hit me with
if?
the damn Anna. I heard trauma and I was like, I can make your world traumatic.
Hold on. What
Don't
if
damn Anna me. I'm cooking.
this is a big god, it's worldwide, whatever, trauma god, and on birth, one parent always dies. Maybe
Yeah.
the
A
day
little
of the
coin flip.
birth. Well, that gets kind of fucky. But maybe the hierarchy sends out like a little person to go and kill one parent.
Oh,
I
so
think
it's
that'd
not
be
even like
quite
a supernatural
technical.
thing. It's like there's assassins that do it.
Like it's a
Do
corrupt.
you want it to be manual or do you want it
I
to
don't
be
know. It seems entertaining to me, right? Like maybe that's okay. Well, upon birth, one parent dies.
I think the difference between the two, right, is because either way it's traumatic, but one way, if it's like automatic, there's nothing
It
you
could
can do
be-
about it. That's built into the way the world works and you just have to accept it. It just fucking sucks. But like if an assassin is sent to do it, if it's manual, that's something that you could potentially work in as like maybe a character wants to change that because that's clearly a systematic issue. It doesn't need to be like that, but it is, or whatever reason, right? And so then it's like a whole situation. So I think
It
you
could
can argue
be-
it either way depending on what you
Yeah.
want.
it could be a thing
there's
of
a
like how
lot.
powerful the child is. Like a lot of sorcerers or whatever will just be born with a lot of natural power, and if they need that extra power, they might take it from a parent.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard.
Hang on, I gotta catch up on these. There's a lot happening. Hang on.
There's a lot of like
There's so many
people in
good
your
ideas
ears.
in here. We got the veil. It needs to come from somewhere. Okay, so we got trauma drama god controls the veil. Got it. Because they didn't want the other gods overthrowing them. Love the idea. Depending on what they pick as their class, they have to roll determining starting titles or gods they are supposed to worship. In a limited selection, one can be a smoothie.
Well, no, you should be able to pick your god.
Yeah, I mean you can go completely random like that if you so choose. Sometimes a DM will manually require randomization, but I think getting to choose is important because it adds personalization. Though I do think I will add the god of the smoothie in just because I think that's super funny to me. All the capital
Super
G
prevalent
gods
in your life.
are busy constructing new worlds. The worlds you play on was their first, and they like it, but they've learned a lot, and they're easy to go out and improve their initial concept. They've left a series of managers to watch over you, though. They'll be more than capable of taking the day-to-day prayers. Literally, you're leaving the company in the hands of the part-timers while you go start up a friggin' startup company.
I mean,
That's
as long as your part-timers
awesome.
still make quota.
I actually really love that idea. Because then it's a shit show on purpose. I'm gonna put that in there for now. That's a great idea. I'm gonna come back to that because that needs some specific thinking. Thanks for the lurk, Hoy. Just barely got to that. And what if it's always the mother? Like the baby always kills the mother. And then the dad
If you wanted it
leaves.
to be really messed up, it could be like a coming of age ceremony. They have to kill one of their parents.
Yeah, that one's also traumatic. for sure.
Spicy options.
But like that could be a cult option or like something.
Supernatural. Dies on birth. Manual. Assassin to maintain appearances. Manual with quotation marks.
It could be like a fate thing. So
Baby absorbs
one of your parents is going to die soon,
parents'
and like
life
everyone knows
force.
that when they get like the kid.
Maybe parent was going to die anyway. Well, then at that
No, I
point,
mean like when I say a fate thing, I mean like you can't avoid it. You don't know how you're gonna die. You're just going to die.
fate. Okay, that's like a nicer way of putting it, because mine was like if they have cancer and you just seek out cancer patients to make babies with because they're gonna die. Like that was kind of
What?
yeah, that was where
I
my
don't know
brain
why
went.
that's what you'd assume. I mean like fate is in like Merlin, you know, even if you know how you think you're gonna die, that just doing that will be like, yeah, well you can't
Oop.
screw with fate, you're gonna die.
Nah,
Right.
but gamers, it's terminal. It's time to shove them in the breeding pen. I'm sorry, I'm so stuck on that idea.
Christ.
That's
That was
crazy.
his first instinct.
That was where my brain went. I'm sorry.
Your summer's still on the smoothies, bro.
Bro, I'm on the smoothie.
They
Hang on,
work
wait.
at the snack
We're almost
shop.
there. We're almost there. Always a mother, so powerful, could have repercussions. I do want trauma. We're also just kind of like discussing gods, Ryan. Welcome in. Don't forget to do the daily sign-in because it counts now. The child is tricking into killing their parent. Okay, okay. I put that in the options. That's a cool option. Oop. Manual. Child is tricked into killing their parents. Okay, wait. Could the smoothie god be a part-time worker at the smoothie shop and just no one knows that they are a smoothie god? Just a random encounter the players went into, get special smoothies to help them just before going. So he's a meme god, and I'm in love with this idea. The memester.
Was a smoothie god not going to be a meme god? Was
He
that
was
serious
gonna be a real
How
god.
would you
but
possibly make it serious?
the breeding pen. And then you make him eat shit. It's just like Cult of the Lamb all over again. Zorlander! The parents
Yeah,
have to
my
fight
Regin's
one
Zorlander.
another for the right to raise the child to the death. God
I feel
damn,
like at
guys.
that point it would be more of a like, you should do it, and then like a simple stab through the heart kind of thing. I doubt many people would like fight over it if they've had a child together.
They would fight if it was like arranged marriages, like there wasn't necessarily
Yeah.
love between them. Because if you choose your partner, then it would be like, yeah, someone's gonna sacrifice for sure, and it's not gonna be much of a fight.
Yeah,
But if
arranged
there's like
marriages would be a fight.
discourse between, it's like, no, I want to live. I don't care if I have a little brat or not, but like I'm gonna live.
Yeah. Welcome to the abuse of that emote. Oh
That got
man.
ended.
Okay. Okay. We have dove into trauma gods so deep. I love it. Maybe all of these are things and no one knows which one's real. I don't know. Jesus Christ, trauma god. Okay, we got some other gods. Let's go.
Smoothie god.
What, you want more? Oh, never mind, you're doing like just
Sacrifice
think of the
others to the
base
Greek
typical ones. Look at Greek gods for examples.
I mean, I
Yeah,
could definitely do that. That's something I could probably do. If you have a great idea for a random ass god, just go for it.
Inflatables.
What kind?
Heyo.
Any. It's the god of inflatables. If air gets put in it, it's that person's domain.
The god of phallic statues.
I hate you people.
See, I felt mine was more hinged than that, though. That was really, like, horrendously specific. It's just the penis god. But not fleshy penises, statue penises. It could be bronze penises,
Only
could be
like 'em
marble
when they're rock
penises, but
hard.
it's just not...
But you know what unites them all? They're all rock hard.
I just, I
Yep.
Yes, perceived. You're fine.
good job on your real original joke, Blaine.
Did you say it?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I was
What
listening to
coincidence.
Anna. I can't. My brain can't listen to multiple people at once.
We definitely heard it.
I'm sorry. Forward joke, everybody. Everybody, just good job.
Shut up, Blaine.
Yippee!
Oh, when you turn 5, your parents have to fight the death of you, or if they're both alive. However, if only one of them are alive at that time, they
Single
become
parent has to
single
kill
parent,
that kid.
or they have to find another. Good Jesus
And on this
Christ!
still,
My God, these are so
Now, okay.
brutal.
I provided such a simplistic thing that was mildly fucked up, and we're just driving it in, and we're twisting
We are so
it.
deep, guys.
To be fair, you could have it to where it's not a god, but a society itself that enforces this, like the Spartans. Children that are unworthy, they just tossed them. Like, it doesn't have to be a god that's doing it. It can be a government that's enforcing that as well. One child rules and whatnot.
So maybe if it doesn't happen naturally on birth, it becomes one of the manual options.
I do think, like, limiting children rules can be fun trauma.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the second child better. Let's get rid of the first one.
I feel like in a world where if upon birth one of your parents dies, I feel like we should also up like the twins ratio to make up for it. Just because otherwise your society is going to die out because you're not filling in more than you have. You're breaking even until the old people die. But that's like some like numbers shit. That's
Yeah, I get that. I get that. You'd have to.
so like twins is very common in this society, but then someone's got to go.
Twins are common. So we got Trauma God. I heard something about Suffering God at some point, so that's a thing. We got Smoothie God. One of the parents must be sacrificed to the Smoothie God, who uses the great blender of nourishment to blend up the physical form of the parent and nourish the children of the flock.
We've already started blending Anna.
That's true. If you look down in the bottom left corner of your screen,
I think they'll notice it. It just keeps going.
I know, it's just been going nonstop. Every so often, a woman gives birth to
That's
7
cool,
children.
actually. Like,
yeah,
a lot
alright.
of children is popular, and, like, the last one to be born just gets more and more powerful.
Isn't having children just like drawing gacha anyways?
Sure.
You know, I'd never thought of it that way, but you ain't wrong, because there are
Well, it's not
definitely
all
some
at
3
once
stars.
in a row.
Oh, that was a nice way of putting it.
I didn't hear what was said.
3 stars.
Well, you
Not. We didn't drop it down to like nothing. No star, 1 star, 2 stars, 3
there's
stars.
no 1
There's some
star,
very
2
mid
stars.
kids.
Yeah, you get some common grades out there. You
Look,
know?
guys, I'm the 5-star of my family, okay? I'm the only normalish one that came out.
You know you drop common loot when you die, you motherfucker.
It's uncommon. Shut up.
There's still that 1% chance that, you know, you get a legendary. It's fine.
Okay. Political structures, perhaps. We kind of
You're
have
planning
world
to make a lot of
details.
regions, so just go for all the dynamics you want and work them into different places.
All right, let's do this. I got
You could
this.
just have all the different regions fighting against each other, but I thought you wanted them to be pretty isolated from each other.
Not necessarily. Like, there will be political play. Like, you know, country A and country B are, you know, maybe at a tentative truce or peace that was only attained because
But you don't want, like, us, for example, going into the region where you've got another party, right?
Right. Like, I'll make the whole world map, right? And then I'm gonna be taking chunks of the world map that makes a region, quote unquote. And that'll be where the entire campaign happens within that region. So you won't have crossover between different parties being played in the same world, although those parties can maybe indirectly or maybe even directly, if they get big enough, affect the way the world changes. Like, I want them to have a physical effect on the world, but maybe not be able to go and wipe out an entire country because they feel like it, you know what I mean? Like,
It depends how big you're planning to have, like, the plots of your story be. Like, I like the ends where players can turn into gods if they want.
see, that's pretty big. And I don't mind that at all. I guess it just depends. Because I want them to start as nobodies. They will be no ones when they start. I want them to, like, kind of get, like, that folk famous, like, out in the middle of nowhere kind of famous, and then build their way up. Maybe they meet whatever the political leader is, a tyrant, a king, a president. They're recognized for their efforts. They start working for the government, if that's what they choose to do. And maybe they eventually, as they get to pretty high level, and at this point I feel like it'd be pretty established, maybe they could go on very specific missions as like an elite force to do something. If there's, say, a war between country A and country B, maybe they go to help secure a specific position. But I would never put multiple groups at the same position.
So your, like, endgame thing would just be they work, like, high tier in the government.
I guess. That sounds very sad.
You could always just overthrow the governments too.
That's true. There's no reason they couldn't be their own government. That starts to get really interesting. I guess my thought here is, like, level 10 and under is kind of my thought, because at that point I'll know the players well enough to know what their end goals would really want to be. Yeah. So I'm just building the world that they're going to start in and play in for quite some time before they get to a point where they're, getting uber powerful. Anyway, brain kind of thinking. So end goal for players, maybe they could be gods, but that's a lot of gods. They could be lesser gods. Because I have a god of smoothies, what's to say they can't be that? Where are we at now? I don't even know where we're at. Welcome in, Edwin. Hope you're having a great day. What am I making for my world? We're creating a big world from scratch, and I'm just pulling in ideas from chat, from my friends here in my stream. We're just building a world from the ground up. I guess maybe I need to have biomes. Actually, this is a good point. Biomes, political structures, and tech magic.
How do we feel about a god of folding?
That could be very overpowered.
This just makes
It's like
me
a
think
god
of
of
Bender.
dividing.
Well, folding is a very intentional word because that can mean anything, right? That could be the god that brought you origami, folding your laundry. That could be the god that allows you to move your joints. It could be like, it's very like ambiguous while also kind of like a larger concept.
I think
How
as
far
far
does
as
the god of folding go?
to
You
have
said it,
good
my
and evil
boss.
gods,
You go.
Mordred definitely needs a god of mathematician,
The god of
a
math.
good
Why
god.
are you like this?
because everyone's
Oh,
gonna
hey.
hate him, but he's really good.
What do you mean?
Why
Best
do I have
friend.
two of these?
Interesting.
I don't know why I have two of these. Hey, welcome in, Raiders. I hope you're having a great day. They can fold me in half. Calm down. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope you are having a great day. Welcome in if you haven't seen me before. I'm Boldmordred. I do all sorts of D&D related stuff that seems to be like probably the most done thing we do here. I run campaigns most every Saturday. Today is an exception. And yeah, I have oh, you know what? I can do this. Hang on. Wait, I got an idea. Hang on.
Oh my god, I just misread your notes very bad.
I have a thing for this. I have a thing. I don't know where the thing is. Here we go. So, okay. Haha. So I make a whole bunch of maps, as you can see. Do a lot of map making. We do D&D every Saturday. Sometimes we're planning on doing some through the week. I make nameplates. I do a whole bunch of cool stuff like that. Yeah. Right now we are doing some world planning for my paid campaigns, which are going to be opening up. Well, technically I'm collecting people right now for it. So if you're interested, you can definitely click on this little guy right here. I got a whole little card. I'm gonna stick it in the right corner. But welcome in. So if we're just kind of doing some planning for the initial world building of the paid campaign world, which currently is called Faegrimm, which is kind of cool. And if you have any ideas, throw them out. We're just kind of chit-chatting about it. Eric, I hope you guys had a great session. Anything crazy happened today? And then yeah, go back in. What do we got? Where are we at? We started talking about tech and magic, and then things happened, I think. No, gods. Evil gods. Something like that.
Yeah,
no,
Matt.
you switched biomes, tech, and things.
Oh.
Well, we were talking about God of Folding, and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
both talked about God things, and then raid.
Simply raid.
A great raid. Oh, I need to do this. Hang on.
I do think I'm gonna head out now, but good luck, guys. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Later.
Enjoy food.
Bye.
Why?
Also, real quick related, if you haven't already followed the Game Master Eric, fabulous Game Master, he does, I think he does a session almost every day of the week, and they are always entertaining. Definitely go give him a lurk or a follow or all the things. Give him all the things. He does a great job with it too. In any case, where are we at? Jeez, so many things happening. Better scramble an egg before you get folded like an omelet. I'm gonna keep that.
What a good line.
Just keep in mind that the most intense and strict doctrines, governments, and societies are always found in the harshest ecological environments. So people with greater access to food and water will have less rules, so to speak, than, say, a desert community. So if you want to put your players into a strict, highly scrutinized town, it should probably be amidst a harsh environment, like a vacant desert or a deadly jungle, and they will always be the most religious. Yeah, that all tracks, actually. Welcome back, Hoy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Bringing back to full circle, back to Tanya.
Please.
Yeah, conflict breeds religion. Strife, particularly,
Truth.
is what makes people religious and want to believe in a higher power.
Nope, absolutely agree. Did you say... You were saying something about evil gods, right?
I was saying if you wanted to have a nice split between good and evil gods, or have a better selection of, I was just making the joke that you could have a god of math.
Oh yeah,
could
Ryan was
easily-
just talking about that too. Probably related. Yeah, I think god of math sounds... Because abacus, why not? Maybe they have abacus competitions, I don't know.
Is that it's going to be his name, Abacus?
Either abacus or Maximus Calculatus.
Why are you the way you are? Just name him Dose.
Abacuscus. Dos. God of math. I'm gonna take Ryan's stuff in here because it seems entertaining. But I don't want to dive too deep because I have a lot of other things going on. Edwin says, can we have a beloved tyrant? A benevolent tyrant. I'm sorry. He's a tyrant, an absolute ruler who can have people executed with one word. But so far his policies have been sound. The wealth of his nation is rising. Crime is low. In part, the policy that adventurers can kill suspected criminals. All in all, the realm is doing really great, but some oppose the tyrant on a principle, saying the government not elected by the people is bad by definition. Actually, I find that wildly entertaining. So yeah, I totally want to do that. Thank you, Frank Herbert. Another name. There's so many names for the god of math, you guys. Why are you like this?
The funny thing is that's probably the easiest thing to cook on too. Like, there's so many things to pull from that people know because so many things in math were named after people that it's just like you could pull off of their names and like mess with them and stuff.
Right. Ooh.
All the puns, exactly.
His name should be Pi.
Sure.
He's got like 6 names now. Okay, so we got a tyrant political structure. So I kind of want to think through some ideas on combination of things. Because we have a lot of god ideas, and I really like that. And I think we're going to get some out of creating civilizations. So, like, I kind of want to see what we can come up with for biome and political structure. And once we put those together, then we kind of look and see how much they rely on technology versus magic. And I guess we can start up because I did want to do the Victorian esque city, right? Which would be kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say super steampunk, but like steampunky. Flintlock pistols, muskets, a lot of iron work or brass work, mechanical things, like maybe they use a coal-powered carriage or something.
Yeah.
And that's
so that
like,
would be less religious?
Perhaps. I would presume if you're going the route of technology, right, that generally implies less religious. Or maybe they have a religious figure like, I don't know, god of brass. God of coal.
I guess it depends on like where you start, because if you start at science typically doesn't allow for a lot of room for the idea of religion, but if you start at religion, there are plenty of religions that allow room for science.
Smart.
So it kind of just depends where the start of that is, and you can play with it.
No, that's actually really smart. Then, yeah, maybe I'm getting too deep, because Victorian-esque is a style of, like, city rather than a biome and political structure, so let's go with coastline. Temperate.
Our favorite.
Yeah, like, traditional. What would this be? This would be, like, semi-religious, because it's temperate and nice.
A religion towards understanding, right? Like a religion based around wanting to mechanically understand the world around you.
Okay.
I mean, even if it's temporal, climate, whatnot, you could still have it generally striped, and they just like they pray to receive food from the ocean. There's a standard for that.
Yeah, if it's
Sure.
a coastline town, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So God of the Oceans, I feel like that would be a big one.
Sure. Bring food, not natural disaster.
Ocean God. So we have a coastline city. Specializes in fishing and progress, I guess.
Progress.
They give you a daily goal that you have to complete.
Oh,
Daily
no.
goal,
Daily required dopamine.
daily
and
quota, or
tell you-
death. I don't know.
Oh no! Wait, I thought it was nice God. Just like you can earn more favor by continuously progressing yourself on the daily.
Progressing yourself. So, like, pursuing more knowledge, pursuing more fish.
Anything. It can be any
Well,
kind of progression. I feel like.
Yeah, I suppose that's
Interpretation.
up to you to decide, because working on yourself can mean a number of things for a number of people, whether it's like physically, mentally, emotionally. And is that things that solely affect you? Is that things that affect like
The
the community
community.
around you, the world at large?
Hmm.
There's lots of things to think about and decide there. What is considered progress? Is all of it progress?
That's a fair point.
Are some
actually.
things more valued than others? Like, is it valued that you become the best person you can be, or is it valued that you become the best person for the world around you?
Mordred, what makes a person a good person?
That is entirely dependent on how society views good.
Yeah.
So,
go.
And now's the time to decide that.
there we go. Society dictates
So, like,
what's good for progress.
yeah, progress could be literally making the most money at one point, and
In a
it doesn't matter
capitalistic
how helpful you
society,
are. Yeah.
if your net worth is big, you win.
You could be making the most money, catching the most fish, having the biggest
phallic
shoe
stone.
house. Something like that, etc. I like that idea, actually. That's a really cool idea. I might need to catch up on chat, however. Because I am, like, I am reading it, but, like, I'm not reading it because we're deep in wherever we're at. I liked the
I
Bender,
am reading,
the Bender stuff.
but I'm not.
Using the child's game folding thing. I think that'd be super neat, actually. I put that in the notes because I want to come back to that.
Oh, do you have notes of the Bender thing?
Yeah. The folded like
You need whatever community follows that needs to a sporting laundry event.
I love
Who
it.
folds laundry the best?
Who can
Competitive
fold
laundry
it
folding.
Maybe
neatest and
that
best.
is what progress is considered, is how well you can fold. Fold what? Whatever you fold. If you fold it well, you win.
I fold my hand at cards. I win.
Yeah. Professional giver-upper. So true.
Heyo. If it's got a lot of trade going on, which probably does, being a coastline, it would be very diverse cultural melting pot. So lots of different religions and people. Absolutely. I think we're kind of focused a lot on like initial founding, because like other religions will work their way in, especially being a coastline city. If it's big, it definitely is a melting pot. I totally agree. I like that. So ocean god / progress god to start. Coastline temperate semi-religious ocean god progress god. What is the political structure. If it's a small
Yeah, what is it?
town.
Well, I
Whatever.
guess that depends. Are you going with the idea of the rotating ruling society? Because I feel like that would potentially affect how towns approach what their hierarchy looks like as well.
That's true. And I guess that comes down to, like, much bigger... Maybe we should be developing countries first. It's always hard to start world building, because I never know exactly where the best place to start is. It kind of just happens.
Yeah, I don't know if there is one. I think it's just kind of back and forth and retconning as you go type of thing, making things fit, and then like maybe needing to remove some things if they just simply don't make sense. Like if you really are steadfast, like you love a very specific idea, and this other idea is brought up that's cool but just wouldn't fit, then you would have to set it aside for a separate scenario.
Yeah. We got... a scientist. Oh my god, there's so much happening in here, guys.
Yeah.
I love
Chaos.
it. I love it.
Controlled chaos.
Okay.
Welcome to the brain.
People find out and a negative account, crack the head, the best murder kid isn't god of the best, and god of extremes. Super small communism, maybe a potential party in the system. Yeah, love it. Whatever you fold, you win. And it has a monastery of monks that follow him. Their martial art focuses on folding up their opponent.
Yeah, opponent folding, so true.
This is amazing. That's going
when
in
you
there.
fold them
110%.
backwards
Thank
over
you.
a pole.
Edwin, you got some great plans here. I love it. D&D, it's all about putting enough detail in order to facilitate story, but enough space for expansion. Agreed. Well, I don't want to fill the entire... Well, let me rephrase that. I guess maybe a better understanding of my thoughts, because I did not really exemplify and say them very well. I want... So I'm going to call each region that a player will play in an entire country, right? It's just going to be... They play in a singular country where they... That's where they'll start. That's where they'll expand. They'll never leave that region for the entirety of the campaign, because that's just the world that's been created. So the tip top of that campaign would, I guess, Ford was right, it would be working for the government or being such a large player in that region that you eventually grow out of it. And I think when they reach that point, that's a different conversation, right? Like, because then maybe they expand outwards into other regions. But for this intents and purposes, the top tier would be working for as a, well, just being a very influential player in that region. Like, you are the name, your household name. There you go, household name. So I want to create a country where those people are, and that country can have a ton of biomes, but wouldn't necessarily have different political structures. They'd have one political structure, right?
Sure.
Unless it's currently in like a civil war situation.
Right.
Which it could be, actually. Which would allow for
opposing views.
Sorry.
Chaos.
You could do a civil war situation. You could do two smaller regions, because I think that's manageable, that are at war with each other, and maybe the players get an option to pick the side they want to be on.
Sure. Yeah, it's difficult to manage a world war, I think.
Oh no, I am not. I am not ready for managing a world war. That's a lot, especially if I'm running, because I want to run multiple campaigns out of the same world, right? So that's why they're restricted.
That almost seems like a DM team scenario where you might need like one or two people helping you on the side.
Atlantic versus Lodos, let's go.
Fucking bullshit.
Maybe we do that for funsies speaker. Let's see, with D&D, oh wait, no. It's down to preference. Some people like building for a single town out to a kingdom. Some people like the big strokes and go down to the finite details. If there are a few blank nations, that's fine. Agreed. Yeah. If your players think a neighboring country is evil, even if you didn't make it evil, you can then fill it with evil stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are absolutely correct, because players don't know. They only know what they get told. Thinking of silly things for gods is fun. When listening to the Discworld audiobooks about gods, and that helps. Discworld has some pretty silly gods. Eternium versus Lotus PvP one-shot. Ah, that's gonna be a spicy fight. I think that'd be funny, though. Okay. Alright. Okay. Maybe what we need to do here... How many countries do we want? There's like 100 and something, 150, 150-ish. How many countries do we have in the real world?
Oh, shit.
255 last time I checked. I can run that Google, though.
Not a smidget.
195 is the initial search.
About a few.
And then I'm seeing 253, so that's a very drastic change. Okay, but there's an explanation of that. So it's 194 independent nation states, 55 dependencies, and then there's Antarctica and 3 other areas. What the fuck is an area? Define an area.
If it's Antarctica, it'd be like an uncivilized, unclaimed area, yeah?
I think 195 is an answer.
Yeah. Antarctica's not considered a governed territory. It is a mutual area.
Ah.
Just like the moon will soon be.
That makes sense.
The moon has its own time zone now.
Does it fucking really?
Yeah,
what do they call
events, lunar time? What the fuck?
I was just curious.
Yeah, no, news update. The Artemis Accords, a collection of, I think it's same random guess of somewhere around 50 some odd countries coming together who were all trying to go to the South Pole of the moon. They asked NASA to come up with a time zone come up with and keep track of lunar time zone.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Hear me out. What if time wasn't linear? Are you prepared to go into the crapshoot that is theoretical science?
Let's go. Why not?
What happens when you get close to a black hole? Relativity, my dude.
That's insane that you just said why not, but you hate math. Like, where does that land you?
Me?
It lands him not doing math and guesstimating a lot.
Look, yeah.
Good enough.
I've grown used to math. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
Grown used to it. Interesting. Fantastic.
But black hole. Now I'm invested. What? Okay, so you get close to the black hole and time slows down. Time stops existing. Time stops.
Your time is relative comparative. Your time would be faster in comparison to someone else's rotation time.
So I have a child, and then I go sit outside of a black hole for 10 years my time, and I come out, and that child is an old man.
You could go outside that black hole for a couple of hours, and they'd come out an old man. When you come meet them again, they would be an old man. Yes.
Negating all of the other stuff that is supposed to happen when dealing with black holes. Yeah.
Yes, this is not anywhere near the event horizon. This is just within its gravitational well.
That feels like if
Gravity
you were
is
rich
a
enough
bend,
and safe enough, you just build yourself a little like living situation on the edge of that.
I love killing rich people who think they exist outside of the natural laws of the universe. That shit's fun.
You just sit there and you sit there for a year and you come out And either technology is advanced to the point where you can like go anywhere and never die, or technology doesn't exist anymore and you know you're gonna die
It's
anyway.
too much of a gamble in that case.
Living is a gamble.
For
Anyway.
poor people.
To put this in a different kind of perspective, right, and how like time and physical space, or let's say it as like distance, right, how they interact with each other. Because if you think of your funny sci-fi movies with like your Star Trek and your warping from place to place, right, that warp is essentially, that's what they're doing, is they're creating that rift where time is going to pass instantaneously for you, but you've transversed a space that is far greater than anything you could have done in like 10,000 lifetimes. They just put all of that time and space into a shorter spot and just pooped you through it. It's like a really simplistic way of saying it. It's not technically correct, but that's
Mm-hmm. There are plenty of fun science fiction ways of transversing space. Most warp situations do something that. That's one of the other fun ones. Your really funny real life problem that people are looking into for our warp drive is called the Alcubierre. I'm butchering it. Drive. But that diagram and example, they're trying to explain putting yourself in a ripple. I guess if you think of like how you drop a stone in a pond, there's a ripple that moves across.
And then
they're
ride
putting
it.
you on that wave. So where you're standing is in a still standing bubble of space and time, but all of the space in front of you compacts and the space behind you expands, and you roll that wave forward. And so time for you doesn't move, and the things around you would, but you yourself would be sitting at your own relative time.
All right. Okay.
All fun.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts.
The space must flow. It's funny. The weird thing for time is it's just the fact that something wants to be where it is at it wants to be where it is to a different place over a period of time. How that happens depends a lot on everything in the middle.
Spicy.
But that's not even bringing into fucking affect wormholes. So,
and the fun part about this being a fantasy world is that you can just say,
do whatever
magic.
you want.
Yeah, you can say, magic.
Oh man, yeah. And that's the fun for like when I do my world fuckery is just like you come up with a funny idea first, and if someone asks how's that work, you can go into as much detail as you want or as little as you want.
Yep.
And so if you have giant flying fucking unicorn cities, were they there because old gods used to use these unicorns as mounts, or
they were genetically modified unicorns?
Yeah, like what you can do whatever you want with it.
So yeah, space travel, time travel, things. All right.
That probably won't be relevant. Just are funny.
The current hardest thing though about all that is it's not time travel; it's time bending.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, because it's the idea that it's not linear, right?
You can compress. You can compress or expand it. You can't twist it. And so all you're doing is whenever you get to a high gravitational well, like a black hole, you're compressing time. So you're yourself passing through it faster, and your body is not aging necessarily, but everything else around you is.
Yeah,
you would literally watch light move faster across the horizon than it's possible.
What a wild concept, actually.
Science is cool, right?
It really is, actually. I'm not necessarily the best at sciencey things, you know?
That's fair.
You know? But what I am good at is making up shit on the fly.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
We love just saying shit on the internet.
How did we get here?
I'm pretty sure I heard y'all talking about something, and then I said,
Bending?
what if time wasn't linear?
Yeah, I don't know, that sounds about
Yeah.
right. So countries.
Countries.
Oh, right. We were talking about how many countries, and then Antarctica, and then area, and then moon, and then lunar time. I'm back on track. Got it. There was a successive rise to that conversation.
Yeah, thought trains be training.
Okay, so here's the question: countries. Like, if it's a whole world, there should be a fuck ton of countries, right? Maybe I have multiple
Sure.
continents.
Your world could be totally tiny too. The concept of a world is flexible, but yeah.
Teeny tiny toilet. So
Because there
what
was a
if-
time where there weren't that many independent,
countries.
shall we call them countries, right?
Yeah.
There were tribes of people that existed within the larger idea of people, and they either got along or they didn't, but there was no defined lines of
Yeah. Not-
everyone agreed upon this is a country and this isn't, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get what you're throwing.
So the idea of a world, you can have as many as you want, is the short answer to what I was cooking.
Yeah. I was trying to decide how we wanted to roll it, because like I could do hardlined countries, very European medieval vibes, but I'm not sure that that's really inherent. I do want some of that, but I don't think that's all of it. So like maybe there's an area that's kind of like universally agreed on that has a whole bunch of small tribes or something, and they don't necessarily adhere to what land is what or something. I don't know. There's ideas there.
There's tons to cook on there for sure.
I don't know. Let's give
Where
a
are you
random
leaning?
number.
What are you feeling? A random number, excellent. Am I choosing the number or are we
Yeah.
rolling it?
Nah, give me your number. What do you got?
37.
37 countries. And let's come up with... I only want political structure and biome. That's it. Let's go. What do we got? We have a tyrant. How do
Sure.
tyrants come about?
Usually through war or a general understanding that they're stronger in some way, shape, or form, whether that's physically, intellectually. They bring something to the table that puts them in power and then they fucking steal it. You know?
Yeah. So maybe a more ecologically difficult place, as Silver was saying, for them to live. Let's call it, Stony Mountain. I don't know.
Sure. So then crops would be hard to come by.
Yeah.
So someone who could figure out how to farm or a good reliable source of food that isn't just hunting would probably
Mm-hmm.
gain power there.
Husbandry is probably the most likely thing. So less crops, minimal food farming, most likely husbandry, survival of the fittest kind of vibes, leads to tyranny.
Yo, how we feeling on the spectrum of monogamy versus polygamy?
I think that there should be countries that have either or both. Depending on how
So how are we
progressive
feeling about
it
the
is.
tyrant? Does he steal all the bitches?
Bro, we're
Is
going
he
with
the
full
only breeder?
harems. Let's go. We're gonna go super harem tyrant. That's a lot of words. That was a lot of words.
Maybe someone
right?
has to like physically duel him if they want to earn the right to stick it in.
Must duel with swords to stick it.
Sorry. Just like
Whoa.
swords, you say.
Heyo.
Put them on the table. Measure them.
How do I? Aha! Ha 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 ha! Anyway.
Yeah, full Genghis Khan moment.
All right, next place. Let's grab a commune. I don't know. Yeah, commune sounds entertaining.
That's certainly a list of things. We have a magocracy, feudalism, theocracy, oligarchy, tribalism, plutocracy, monarchy, empire, republic, federation, anarchist, commune, dictatorship, meritocracy, technocracy, and city-state.
I don't even know what some of these are, and I'm not dumb.
I can guess just based off of, like, pulling the words apart.
Right.
Like, magocracy is not something that exists in this world, but I can imagine it's where, like, the people with the most powerful magic are in power.
Right, yeah.
Is my guess for
tracks,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I added them all in. We'll go through. So we got commune. That's the one we're going to start with. A commune tends to be a place of, like, a smaller place of like-minded people that generally don't inherently want for things.
Yeah, they're just working to survive together.
So that'd probably be a more, I don't know, plains or foresty,
Sure.
traditional temperate area. Maybe in some, like, deep hills, I don't know. For, like, protection. Magocracy. Magocracy sounds like major city, major place.
I love how breeding has become, like, the topic of conversation about how the hierarchies work.
You know what? It's a real question, though, right? Like,
I mean, it's something that happened throughout history. It's not unheard of, right?
it's fairly normalized.
But the one that got me was everyone who isn't a noble is a eunuch. Like, just to remove the choice.
Ooh.
Just to remove.
That would your society would completely break down. Yeah, because nobles' children aren't going to go work fields, and if you don't have peasants, that's a one generation civilization right there.
Well, yeah. I guess it's past, like, a certain point. Like, you're allowed to pick your 2 favorite kids, and they're raised properly, and the rest have to go to work.
Oof. But then what if the whole family of royalty or nobility dies? It falls on the eunuch, and the eunuch can't produce.
I don't know.
That gets interesting.
I just like the idea that the whole society would be inbred as fuck.
It would have to. Well, yeah, absolutely. I love the inbred
It would
idea.
happen so quickly because your choices are so limited.
Within a couple generations, you're completely fucked. You'd have to take it over through conquest. Like, otherwise, how are you getting?
I guess it would depend on your child bearer, right? Because we're not saying that all people with uteruses are considered nobility. We're just saying all people outside of nobility with penises
We went to
would get that option removed. So you could still inherently breed with someone who is in poverty, and then those kids would still be perpetuated as, like, workers, essentially working class.
Wait, say that again. My brain did not want to absorb that information.
To simplify it, like, the nobility could still sleep with and breed with people of working class, and those children would be considered working class.
Oh, because they're lesser.
Because of the uterus it came from, basically.
Should I
Yeah,
walk back into nobility?
The mother is common stock.
Oh,
Right.
breeding pins. Got it.
We're really diving in on this stuff. It's going great.
Yeah. We love hyper focusing on the thing that's not really going to come up ever.
So we could even like.
Well, that is something that happens, right? So, like,
Yeah.
think even back to, like, let's just say feudal Japan, right? So there was the emperor, and then there was the empress, and they would have children, but then the emperor would also have concubines,
Right.
and those children had the potential to become royalty, but otherwise they wouldn't be. Right? And then the emperor could also go outside of that, but it would be very much in secret and could breed with some common folk, right? Not
Right.
necessarily intentionally, but you stick your dick in and sometimes stuff happens and you get whatever, right? And those are like the real like bastard children, right? And then you're just like the ones that you just don't know, everyone hush, nobody say anything. So it happens. So you can set up a whole situation where like if the noble's entire purpose is to breed, it doesn't really matter how they get around to it. This is getting into like some World's End harem, actually, because like...
No, this is very
like...
entertaining to me, honestly.
Magical eunuchs?
They use magics to
Ooh.
fix the inbreeding or sacrifice the uglier inbreds to the smoothie god.
God! Why did we bring it back?
Oh my god, this is great.
We're all about circles here.
Interesting. Edwin brings up good points. The magical eunuchs is getting me, man. Like,
Yeah, I can see that, Edwin. I like that a lot. I don't know if you've read that yet. That's kind of a whole thing to take in, but... Because me being me, I'm all for, like, someone telling the matriarchy story so we can, like, drop the patriarchy stuff.
Oh, I'm down. Like, I want all sorts of different stuff in here. That's why when you were talking about, polyamory and whatnot, like, I want to include all sorts of everything.
Because I feel like monogamy is such a, like, your society is doing well type of thing. Like, partially religious, but partially just, like, there's no need to reproduce to survive monogamy type. That's so like, if y'all are struggling and y'all just need babies to make sure the next generation is gonna exist, like, it's a little more free love, I think.
Yeah, that tracks. Actually.
I kind of see it on a bell curve too, because then I think if your society, because I think that's where we're at right now, right? Is there's like a lot of polycule relationships that are forming these days, and it's
like
because
real life.
we're so far beyond, like, no one really, or the desire to have kids is really like lessening right now, but we're focusing more on relationships, and we're like, why would we just have one when we could have this group type situation? So it's a really interesting bell curve of like breed to survive, and then when you're doing well, monogamy is fine, and then when it is another situation where like we're beyond all of that shit, then we go back to like more is betterer.
Nope. Yep. Like,
more is simply betterer.
Betterer. I'm actually
It's
really thinking on your point here. Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. Yeah, anthropology is interesting and weird.
I did do a whole
Humans
class
certainly
on
have
that.
made choices.
They definitely made choices.
Choices exist.
People choose. People's choices have repercussions.
Whoa, wait. We didn't agree on that.
There's a repercussion. Case in point. Moving forward. Okay.
The independent women. I see you. I see you, Hoy.
So let me see here. So we might have multiple monarchies, because like that's your most traditional form of like D&D world as a monarchy, right? Like
absolutely.
Why do I not have monarchy in here? Oh, there it is.
It's also a lot more simplistic to write, I think, in the sense like it saves you pain and agony on the back end of like having to get into these really fucking deep conversations that we've been doing.
Which one is it?
Doesn't care if you agree or not to its rules. Amazing.
Wait, what? Oh.
The most recent chat.
There are female rebels who want to decide for themselves who they have children with. Ayo. I actually really like this one as well. I'll put this in here. You can always do a democratic monarchy where the monarch is checked by a parliament of sorts. That's got to be a specific name of something, or is it literally called a democratic monarchy?
I guess it depends on how you employ it, because the only reason why that's not what is in place here is because we have the three branches. So the monarch, or I should say the president, is not in charge of everything, not in charge of legislature, not in charge of judicial, not in charge of, like, it's not one everything. But if you set up a democracy where you were to elect a president and they do just have sole control, like, I could see that that's what it would probably be called, right?
Yeah, that would track, yeah. Sacrifices never years. Now rules 500 years. I like that idea too. That sounds cool. What? Okay. I have a whole lot of archies and lisms and icks in here, and I don't know what some of them mean. Isms!
I got some of them isms.
I'm sure I do too. Honestly.
So theocracy is the religious rule.
Yeah. Feudalism
Tribalism
is...
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say feudalism is like small. It's a hierarchy of smaller leaders that all adhere to a more centralized leader. So barons go to nobles, nobles go to monarchy in simplicity. Theocracy, tribalism. I'm not sure.
The meritocracy is the one that I think people, especially in a capitalist society, lean towards, because meritocracy is basically just like you get what you earn. So if you are essentially winning, like if you look at life as a competition and you're winning at life, you gain power through that. So if you accomplish more things in your life, you will have more power, versus if you're just fine being a team player, status quo, you're going to have less power.
So survival of the fittest, but via accomplishment?
Yes.
Dictatorship's pretty obvious. Anarchy, confederation, republic, empire.
Technocracy, I imagine, works similarly to like magocracy, where instead of magic, it's people who are technologically savvy. So probably people who invent things, or people who own the most technology, perhaps. I'm not exactly sure if the person, I think it was Ryan wrote the list, if Ryan wants to. Was it Ryan on the list, or was it Nathan?
Yeah, it
on
was
the
Ryan.
list?
Yeah. So most brilliant inventor runs the place.
Sure, like the
Yeah.
person who's, yeah.
City-states, a combination of nations, well, cities. I don't know exactly what ties the city-state together outside of perhaps being in the same region or just agreeing to become essentially an alliance, right?
Yeah, you'd stay on. Not unlike your civilization. Yes, they're independent on their own. They can have relations with other, but they would realistically stay more isolated than not.
It kind of sounds like a defensive pact kind of vibe. Though that may not be.
Yeah, defensive pact, but also can be you would go on the offensive if situation arose that like a tyrant shows up in a farther region, these two could work together to take down the tyrant as well.
Sheesh.
There's so much
getting
information in here. I'm just shoving it in at this point. Just like, yeah, we'll go through this at some point. This is fine. Just get in there.
Yeah,
Stuff
we're
for
getting
good.
asked and answered right now.
Rational and logic laws. Are these different options for a technocracy?
I suppose you could take it that way. I think it's an overall sort of like, these are examples of how it would be implemented. So like, yeah, features of one. Things to take into consideration.
Indeed. Okay, we got some considerations here. Actually, this is coming along pretty well. I mean, these just got to be named and stuff. So, like, that's isolated, but work together for common goals. Each is independent of the others. That tracks, I think. There's so much happening. Okay. What do we got here? So we have a whole bunch of options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We've got 22 possible countries currently.
Sure.
This is a good starting point. I'll leave this 37
Yeah,
up.
just a couple smidge of them.
Yeah, just a little bit. And then I'm sure there'll be some repeats. So I think this is a good list
Right.
that I can pull from. And I like the ideas that we had for female lines, or just like different than your traditional experience. Because
we could do an Amazonian warrior scenario where all men are slaves. Smiles.
Hell yeah.
Similar to like lion prides, I guess, too. Even though there's like one male lion at the top, the women do everything. The lionesses are the hunters and the mothers and the
make the males
that
your
actually keeps
peacocks.
it. Yeah, and
just
the
hang
dudes just
around.
fucking take naps all day, bro.
Bro, we
Trophy
just
husbands.
chilling. It's the life.
They duke it out for the right to breed. Like, I don't know. I think you just.
What is that? What would that be under? Tribalism?
Generally.
Could be a type of, yeah.
Duke it out for right to breed. Females do everything. Males are peacocks. Peacocks.
Smiles.
At best. Love it.
Doing their
Love
best.
it. I have returned to right the breeding.
Summer, you would have been losing your mind over some of
We
the
have been-
conversations we've been having.
It's been so much breeding conversation. I don't even know how we got here.
It always cycles back, I think, and I
It
think
really
that could be
does.
the issue. But
It does seem to be a consistent topic.
We did take a
The whole
small
thing
break
is
for wibbly wobbly timey space magic.
We did, actually. It was a good time. It was a good time. Any major random ass ideas, like we were talking with the Cookie Mafia, there was Balloonville, the Eladrin Confederacy, anything like
I guess
that.
not as chaotic, but as a funnier thing. Do you still want to stick with the 12-month calendar?
That's a fair point. I don't know that
Do
it
you wanna
really
do 4
matters too
seasons?
much. I think I'd rather do like a 4
you can
month calendar or some shit where like each month is a season. That's
you
just,
can make up something entirely different. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
function within the bounds of what we understand based off of how our planet functions.
Exactly.
that is very true. Though I wouldn't want to go too off the rails because I still got to be able to like easily, if I needed to, come up with something
Mhm.
to explain to players and whatnot.
I get that.
So
Oh, it
maybe
was just a
like
quick question of it.
less months than 12. I think 12 is a bit much anyway.
Because didn't we talk about having an alternating rule? So that would be like how you determine the passage of time is when your ruler switches.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, that was
the
We're in
Roman
the-
calendar was they added months to the calendar to celebrate their own rule. So
Yeah, August.
yeah,
Heyo.
the month of Julius or July.
Yeah, July.
Oh, but yeah, no. I was making more of the joke of like it'd be actually really funny if your calendar started with 1 month and every ruler you kept adding another month, and that's how they
That
kept
was
track of
something
how
that I was
many.
thinking
It's
too.
Yeah.
30 what?
How
How
many
many?
generations? Yeah,
Oh,
well,
you
no,
mean for
like the
one
generations.
country?
Yeah, for one country, they just keep fucking with their own calendar.
You know how
Because then your scope of a
confusing-
year is drastically different. It's just like every X amount of solar
will tell
lunar
you-
cycles, you switch your remembrance day of which ruler, and it just becomes like.
I'll tell you, my inspiration to this is your fucking state not doing daylight saving time.
Yeah,
Keep
no.
fucking with everybody else.
I hate it so much, man. Like, I wish everybody would stop doing daylights. That's what it is.
Yeah, me too.
I don't hate that I don't do it. I think it's smarter to not do it because then you don't have to do anything. It just seems dumb that everyone else, everywhere else does it, right? Like,
Mhm. So that's why
I'm
it'd
a
be really
big
funny
fan
to
of
have
not
just
losing sleep.
all right.
one really fucked up country that keeps fucking with their calendar every couple generations, and everyone's just pissed at them.
Definitely put it in here because I think that's super entertaining. I might say 8 months would be the normal calendar because that's 2 months per season.
The peak is right in the middle of the months, and they just have a waning waxing.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking something like that. Waning, waxing at end beginning of month. Like where the month transitions over, yeah. So if I have month A and month B, and then at the point where A and B switch, that would be like the start of winter or something.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it'd be really funny if you didn't even call them months, but you call them semesters.
Yeah. Semesters.
Or
Semesters. Or A and B semesters, yeah.
Okay, time, calendar.
Calendar.
I think it's funny the idea that a year was once 445 days.
What? A transitional year to get the calendar back on track had 445 days. Jeebus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a year, man.
I've had a worse typo. Actually, I had a really rough one. Just because O and I are right fucking next to each other on the keyboard. It was a bad time. I won't elaborate.
Lol.
People knew that I didn't mean to type it though, and they just deleted it. I was like, thank you for saving me from my dumbass.
Let's see what else we got here.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. This has been really nice, actually.
Creative juices.
Starting to run thin, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we think too hard.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on the unicorn travel system? And I think I'll call that my end.
The unicorn travel system. Are we going with the chastity thing? Because that was kind of...
It's so funny to me. I don't know. I feel like there's
You
something...
never did answer my question.
Oh, what was the question?
Born again virgin.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So if you drink the potion...
Yeah.
I feel like it would just be like a mask, right? Like, you're quote unquote...
You could easily get around it with it as well as just like if you're doing it as just traveling, the operator would have to be as you would.
So we have children drivers.
I mean,
teleport groups of people. No, don't say I mean. Do not say I mean.
40-year-old virgins.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, like if you pass the chastity test, like absolutely just go. But I'm just thinking in general, like over mass, especially in like a medieval setting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of hard to sell. At least in like my mind, it's hard to sell that there's like.
Yep.
You know.
That'd be like it'd have to have some kind of organization of equivalent eunuchs or nuns. That
the monks.
Who abstain.
The monks are drivers.
Yeah, the monks are all your taxi
Uber
drivers. Never actually been to Uva Java.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Summer's offering Fortnite.
That's the one we just play for now. Because in Japan, the emperor was a divine being. For every new emperor, they got a new age. Like, I like that idea, actually. I'm gonna shove that in there, yeah. I'm gonna shove it in just in the world details. I'm not really sure where else to shove that for a moment. Reincarnation, so the bodies would be versions. And then they don't have
We're really
Society of Reborn.
Ooh.
The way I'm thinking, has anybody been watching Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon?
I needed to start it. I had not yet.
No. Thanks
so
for the water,
a world
Lilith.
mechanic that is not a spoiler is that within the confines of the dungeon, you don't die. You can be like healed and then you come back to life, basically. And the way I'm thinking, it would be so funny if like you're a party and you got a hold of like a unicorn and you're like, all right, who can drive this thing? And everyone looks at each other like, dude, we had an orgy last night. And then you draw straws, right? And the person with the short stick just gets murdered and then brought back to life, and their body's clean.
Heyo.
It's like,
This got spicy. Hang on.
Surely.
Have a Borderlands New You system. Just
You just start
that
and they
actually
come back
sounds-
and then they can drive the fucking unicorn. I'm like, no shot. We had to kill a party member for that.
That sounds actually pretty great.
That's some wild shenanigans for sure.
Getting my thing here because I had to redeem.
Look at this upside down looking ass.
Hey yo, I got wings. I'm in the way of the chat though.
Ah. There they are.
Yeah, we'll do this. We'll go over here and I'll just move the card. How's that?
Yeah.
But I think I'm at the point where my brain is
Overboard.
hey yo, thanks for the follow. Hell yeah. Brain dead. Yeah, absolutely. It is
Oh,
gone,
no.
guys.
Read that last message. That's beautiful.
Country where the king is chosen
Sentient
by a crown
crown.
that teleports on the head of the next king. Oh, that's genius. Yeah, that's going right in. Yeah, you are. You're gonna go right up here at the top. Yes, you are.
Hey, yo.
That's a good one. That's a good way to have some sort of interaction or interference from the gods without it being so
Direct.
drastic, like what you were looking for.
Yeah.
It's such a passive thing that, oh, king died, takes crown off, puts crown on somebody else. But if a human tries to touch it, it's not, or if any living creature tries to touch it, you can't remove it or you can't, like, place it on somebody else. It has to be the gods. Whoever drives the unicorn dies. Hold on, is there context to that?
Wait, where does that say?
Surfer. Silver. Or you want to take that?
Where I missed this one actually.
It was
Whoever
right
drives
after my Boldmordred.
Oh. Yeah, I see it now. I don't think we had
You talking about Evangelion?
I want to put that in there
Oh,
too.
well, that's emotional damage. Moving.
I'm gonna slaughter you the faster the steed. You know, if I'm gonna have unicorns, why not have nightmares? Fuck it. Let's go full send this shit.
Yeah, I was say okay, as a side note though, the ante to a unicorn is called a bicorn, and they don't like pure people. They only like people with ill content. So you could always just also have bicorns, but
It would
Yeah,
be
that was
great
the idea.
if you had a party that had to have a unicorn and a
Oh, shit.
bicorn to get through. Like,
Oh.
they can't ride the opposite. There's multiple options.
The way everyone's gonna need to ride the bicorn, though.
but there's that one person in the party that has a unicorn and nobody talks about it, and there's
Right.
like
Yeah, the Zack of the party.
and there's that one really crazy night where the unicorn just kind of just doesn't let them on anymore, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Oh no! And then you have to put your unicorn down.
Let
I'm
it
sorry,
breathe.
I
Hold on,
betrayed
wait a
you.
second.
Damn, that would be great, actually.
Trauma god? I think so.
Trauma god. They're just praying to the trauma god, please let me get on the unicorn.
I don't know about that one.
Oh,
That's funny.
okay. Brain is done. Brain is done. This was very useful, actually. There is so much content in here. And, like, it's a good starting
also-
place for, like, whenever I dive back in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will be streaming a lot more of this world's creation because I think it'd be interesting to get so much information, like so much input from friends in chat about the world, even if they're going to play in it. Because, like, you could be doing all this work on a god that you'll never see in your game, right? Or a country that you're never going to visit in your game. But, like, you are making it hell for the other parties.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that in mind, hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I'm going to send us over to Volpixie who is a really wonderful artist. They did work for my friend Ford, or Evrior, who was in here earlier. They're doing D&D right now, so I feel like that tracks. They're apparently doing a Pokemon one-shot, which sounds actually really interesting. Nice. So let's go ahead and pop that in there. And then we're going to do rates up, and then... Heyo. So make sure you copy the raid message, you know, throw it in the chat, whatever. So, everybody, thanks for coming to the initial world building session of what is now Faegrimm. I think that's probably going to stick. We do D&D sessions every Saturday, so make sure you pop in. I have all of my schedules available. I usually put it up on Twitter, and I always put it on Discord. So if you are interested in knowing when I will be streaming next, you can join my Discord here. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, Edwin. And then, yeah, you can also, if you're interested in joining one of my D&D campaigns, I am taking signups right now. But make sure you get in sooner rather than later, because they are limited slots. Lastly, you can also scan the wonderful QR code there, and that'll get you to the same site as that little link. Yeah, thanks you all for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody. Stay bold.